those of you that are members of the National Recreation and Park Association think this is really kind of interesting. At the end of 2018, they issued their inclusion report. One of the findings there was that 2 in 5 park and recreation agencies have formal inclusion policies that ensure all members of a community can access and enjoy all that Parks and Recreation have to offer. I kind of turn that around and say, well, that means that there's 3 in 5 park and recreation agencies that don't have a formal inclusion policy. And almost 30 years into the ADA, that is not good progress for us. So we really need to look at that as a profession and look at bringing that number up. For me, that's a little bit overwhelming, and I'd like to have seen that number be a little bit more encouraging for where we are as an industry and a profession. A couple other areas there that they looked at, the greatest challenges in terms of keeping Parks and Recreation from being inclusive to all members of the community. Of course, 57% identified insufficient funding, 46% inadequate staffing, 29% facility space and shortages, and 25% lack of staff training. And, I just kind of want to go back to insufficient funding. I've been doing this for a really long time, and I hear a lot of people say there just isn't the money for it. You know what? There is the money for it. The agency has not identified accessibility and inclusion as a priority. So the agency identifies where the priorities are and where the money goes. And so when I hear of an agency saying, oh, we just don't have the money to do that, that's not true. It's just been delegated to other places. And so our role and our challenge as a profession and as advocates for the inclusion of people with disabilities is getting ADA compliance on the radar for those decision makers that have, direct decision making in the priorities of our funding. And so we're unfortunately in a situation that in some entities, it's gone a really long time without being noticed as a priority. But I would highly recommend that you take a look at the report. It's very interesting. They broke down the different types of questions that were asked and where the respondents were coming from. And so it has some interesting information in it.